Today, we're going to do an origin video on Sky Tate, the Blue SPD Ranger. So Sky Tate was born into the Power Rangers life, basically. Sky Tate's father was part of SPD. He was the Red Power Ranger, one of the first Rangers, I believe, and he was part of SPD. But one day, he got a call to go in and save the city from a villain known as Murdoch. He did his best, but he couldn't. He was able to save the civilians, but he was not able to save. He wasn't able to survive the attack. He was medicalized, but then when he was medicalized, he died, and all Sky Tate had left of him were memories and his broken, shattered helmet. He was destroyed by Murdoch, the villain he was sent out to kill, to destroy and capture. So Sky Tate then begins to train himself to become the next Red Ranger in SPD. And he does so. He does very well as opposed to becoming the Red Ranger, as he keeps on climbing up the ranks. But during his time at the academy, he then meets Sidney Drew and Bridge Carson, two of his best friends, two people that become best friends. They both were a part of the academy training to become Power Rangers as A Squad. Another Power Rangers team turned and became Power Rangers A Squad. And all three of them and other cadets wanted to become the Power Rangers. So all three of them climbed up the ranks in SPD and then got into B Squad, one of the last levels until you turned into A Squad. Their training kept on pursuing and they kept on improving. But one day, they were on a mission where they had to go capture two thieves. The two thieves were actually Jack and Z from Power Rangers, the Yellow and Red Rangers. They failed to capture them the first time. But then the second time, they were able to get their Power Ranger morphers as Grum was approaching Earth. The second time, they morphed and Sky became the Blue Ranger, not the Red Ranger. So Sky Tate then captured Jack and Z with the help of his friends Bridge and Sid, and but then later, but at the HQ of Delta Space Patrol Delta headquarters, then Doggy Kruger, Anubis Kruger, the commander for Power Rangers for the Power Rangers of Space Patrol Delta, he gives Z the chance to go join the SPD Rangers, and she does, but Jack stays behind. Sky doesn't really like it as she is a criminal and she doesn't belong in the academy. But Anubis Kruger said that she was a worthy opponent, and then she joins the team, and Z then becomes the Yellow Ranger. But then later in the day, Z and the other three Rangers, Bridge, Z, and Sid are overwhelmed by a monster, or a criminal per se. So Z Delgado then joins the SPD Rangers, but then the Rangers, all four of them, get overwhelmed by a monster. Jack, he becomes the Red Ranger, sees it on a monitor, and Jack then takes Doggy Cuckoo's offer to be part of the Power Rangers, and he takes the offer to save Z. And then he morphs. But when Sky finds out that Jack is the Red Ranger, he is very upset, as a criminal in his eyes doesn't deserve to be even a ranger at all. But Jack becomes a Red Ranger, and this causes a rivalry between Jack and Sky. But later, when Scrum is defeated, Jack then resigns as the But one day, the monster that killed Sky's father, Murdoch, he came back. And Murdoch is trying to play mind games on Sky, but it's not working technically. But then one day, Murdoch is able to play with Sky's emotions, which causes him to shed tears. Now, Murdoch's ability is whatever reflective surface there is, he can escape from any cell with it. And when Sky cried, the reflectiveness of the tear caused Murdoch to escape. But on the final fight, Jack then gives Sky the Red Ranger morpher, as Jack saw that the determination in Sky's eyes, and he let Sky become the Red Ranger. So Sky becomes the Red Ranger and finally takes down the monster that took out his father. And then at the end of the season, after Jack leaves, resigns from SPD, Sky then becomes the Red Ranger for the new Power Rangers of SPD. And that's Sky Tate's origin. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one.